Sorry, muted. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. I hope you're all doing wonderfully today. We're already on a hype train, level 2 at 19% with 4 minutes to go, so that's pretty good. I hope you're all doing well. Some of you, I think, probably came over from the stream Jake and I just did over on the Hannah and Jake channel. Today's my busy day, so I'm doing lots of streaming. I'm gonna be exhausted later, and I still have to exercise for the day, so it's gonna be a rough one. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see what I missed while the intro was playing. TOMG subscribed for 11 months, says, from stream to stream, thanks for continually making my days, of course. Mike Max 321 says, before we got fake snow, now we got fake cabbage. Beautiful, thank you for the link. We can take a look at that in a little bit. Mike Max also says, apparently words are spells. I clicked on that link too, so we can take a look at that as well. Antifa Cat, thanks for subscribing with 5 months, says hi, hello. Fly West Joe, thanks for subscribing for 4 months, says hello Hannah. Another month flies by, indeed it does. Make sure you get all your bingo cards ready if you'd like to play bingo today. Melted Snow Caps with 100 bits says, happy Tuesday all. 74 Quinn 74 says, damn, I feel like I just saw you somewhere. Vast Lunacy, thanks for 200 bits. Puka the Duca with 100 says, yay for Tinfoil Tuesday. Overthought with 100. Pyromancer with 56 says, hey, did you know Peter wrote a book? No way. Cannabis Paradise, Cognitive Dissonance. Oh, the name is ironic. Is it a novel, a neurolinguistic operating system, a textbook, or all of the above? For the first time ever, discover the most scientifically accurate and leading-edge truths about the plant in Cannabis Paradise. Join Celix Stone as he learns about cannabis and experiences the world in the year 2045. The United States has divided into 2 different societies, and Celix is caught in the middle of both worlds as he tries to find the truth about the plant. No way. Come on. This can't be real. What's the free sample? Hold on. I gotta get back and see the stuff. Hold on. Sorry. Thrash Mio with 100 bits says, must conclude conspiracy time. I streamer doing having leftist both it good theories turn trans, the offs taking, and Dungeons and Dragons, Elon the debunking, and politics. Enjoy. I feel like I'm having a stroke. Jody Girl 78, thanks for 100 bits. Cat the Satanist says, so happy to get to hang out with you, Hannah, and everyone in chat. Well, I'm glad you could join us. Comrade Devin with 200 says, your hair is doing a very 70s slasher film chick thing. I dig it. Ooh, that's the greatest compliment I think anyone's ever paid me. Ashy Boo 74 says, hi Hannah, long time no see. I found a video from Gaia for Tinfoil Tuesday since Peter mentioned it a lot on their channel. Sweet, thank you. Crazy Conservative Shop, PatriotDepot.com. Trump adhesive bandages. Make ouchies great again. Christ. Lyra Shea, thank you for subscribing for 3 months. Says, holy crap, can't believe it's been 3 months already. Love your streams, girl. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for watching them. Vast Lunacy with 1,000 bits says, not home, so I can't gift subs, but I'm still hype. Well, thank you very much for the bits. Andrew Batella says, Peter's book sounds like the weed fourth kind. He wrote another book? Oh no! Cannabis, the key to becoming nigh immortal. Oh no, we're gonna have to buy these books probably. That's a shame. He was interviewed about the book. Of course he was. Sky Comet Fallen with 100 bits says, hi Hannah, how's your day? It's going pretty good, thanks for asking. Lyra Shea says, hype bits, let's go. Querulous Artisan says, woo, tinfoil time. Look at this dog and cat with 95 bits, thank you very much. What's Project Camelot? Let's switch over to the show cam, so we can show what some of the stuff is we're going to be looking at. Is the book made of weed? Hemp paper? That would make sense. We got a whole bunch of regulars today. Oh no, who was this? Who got deleted? I'm trying to think whose channel this was that they got removed. Either way. Reshaping Our World. Oh, it was one of Daniel Pratt's channels. This guy's got no new videos. Nathan Thompson might have something going on. Call for an Uprising, still doing stuff. Call for an Uprising got a strike on his channel, so he's going to be moving to another new channel soon. And we got some more Peter stuff, and some stuff that other people sent, so. Some Porcelain Giant says, someday I'll have the knowledge and ability to build you a robot cat. Someday. Nice. 55% of level 3 hype train. Let's get us to level 5 so I can don all my tinfoil armor. MH Darkbeast says, loved you on YouTube, but here is my life energy. In retrospect, the kindergarten tutu story. Do you think that was your first sign that you were trans? If so, congrats on living your best life. It's probably related. Yes. You could probably also, if you were a psychiatrist, probably do a nice deep dive into the psychiatry of me wanting to wear a girly dress and then having everyone laugh at me and humor becoming my primary coping mechanism in life. There's got to be a connection there, right? Comrade Devin with 300 bits says, well, this just proves Peter would have never partaken of the devil's lettuce before alien hunting in an abandoned school. Oh, wait. Yeah, the fact that he said he was sober during that is sketch to me. Keirthin with 100 bits says, so sleepy, but let's go. It's fine, you can fall asleep to my beautiful voice. Keirthin's, or nope, same one. Querulous Artisan says, kitten update, they're walking and playing, and oh, they bite now. Aw, cute. Burnt Flowers 666, thank you for subscribing. Level 3 complete. I'll start putting on the stuff since we're already at level 3. Let's see if we can get to 5. Tinfoil. Where's my other tinfoil stuff? Where did it go? Seriously, where is it? There's one thing. Only works if you're a frog. Okay, there's this. There's the goggles. Where's my headband? That's like the most important bit is the headband. Oh, it's over here. Found it. %, of level 4. Pyromancer says aliens took it. Probably true, and then they put it back when they realized I'm more entertaining wearing the tinfoil. Quiet185 says, for the hype, enjoyed the live stream today. I'm glad you did. Thank you. 28% of level 4. 1, 2. We made it to level 3, so I can do the jacket. Jacket. Comrade Devin, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Hoi Polloi, thank you for extending your subscription through September. Wow. You have much confidence in my ability to continue to be entertaining until September. Glad someone has confidence in me. So that's level 4, so we can do the gloves too. Oh, level 5's complete actually as well. Wow, we did it. We did it, everyone. Woo! I'm glad it's a little cooler today, so I don't think I'll get warm as quickly, so that's good. All right, let's rock this shit, okay? Got my Star Trek shirt on, got my foil, got my fans, 112% of the level 5 hype train. It's gonna be a good one, okay? I know it will. God, that music is quiet. Pyromancer says, it's okay, Trump will be president by September and give you more to talk about. He sure will. Peter wouldn't lie to me, would he? Would someone do that? Just go on the internet and lie? What would they stand to gain? Let me clear off the bingo sheet. Wow, this music is very sensual. I'm seducing you, chat. Ooh, I'm seducing you with my voice break. How's it working? Pyromancer says Hannah beatbox. Oh good, it's working on Baja, and that's the only person that matters, so. Wing the Ultimate Nug says, I've been listening to you for like 10 years now. That's 10 years well spent. Do people Vogue? Do people Vogue anymore? No one did clip the entire Vanilla Ice rap, no. I'm very disappointed in all of you. I'm gonna magically seduce you with my bardic energies. That's true. I am a bard in real life. I think most streamers probably count as bards in one way or another. It's too long to Twitch clip. How long does a Twitch clip have to be? Probably. I guess I could highlight it, but that would take time. A minute? Yeah, it's longer than that. I'd have to Twitch highlight it myself, I guess. Yeah, I do need to stay hydrated. I'm thirsty. A bard and a lizard person? Impossible. Dragonborn rather, can be. They can be bards. It's fine. Killjoy says, so because of you and Jake, I started playing D&D. We were exploring a dungeon this past weekend, and I peed into a well and awoke a huge water elemental. It did not go well. Why would you pee in a well? People drink from wells, you monster. One sec, I gotta text Baja something. Yeah, I'd rather highlight the VODs myself, though. I don't want to have a mod do that for me. Thanks for the level 5 hype train, chat. To the best community on Twitch. Let's turn this music down. And let's get to the tinfoil. What should we start with today? Let's start with this human interest story, shall we? Let's go. We got some Alex Jones material.
Goodness gracious, there's a video going around the internet right now that shows that Alex Jones, the radio host, is doing possibly a better job at catching illegal aliens than catching and bringing to consequence illegal aliens than Joe Biden is. This video, I don't really know. Take a listen to this video, and then I would be curious to know what you think about it. This video of Alex Jones walking around with a camera crew allegedly catches some staffer for some organization loading a bunch of foreign children into the back of an SUV. Take a listen.
You got a car seat for them? You got a car seat? That's illegal, bro. Where are you taking these kids? That's illegal.
If you get in a traffic accident, those
Where
kids
are
are
you
going to get
taking
hurt.
these kids? You have a car seat.
That's illegal.
How is this Christian?
Hey, we need the police over here. They got a bunch of kids
where
without
you
their car
taking these
seats. You're violating Texas law.
Who is this right
Hey,
This seems like the fakest shit ever.
here? You have no comment. See,
you got
this is
those children in there
Christ-like.
illegally.
You're about to run a human being over.
You got those children in there.
Who are you?
You got
Alex Jones is gonna stop the car with his sheer mass. He is the densest human being alive.
those children illegally.
Who are you? Sir,
Have their seatbelts
their
on.
seatbelts aren't even on.
They
Where are
break
you
all
taking
laws.
these children?
They do
Sir,
what they
identify yourself. Who are you?
want. Hit me. I'll tell you right.
Who do you work for?
Be deep.
Are you part of this organization?
No, sure. I don't know.
So you don't know where these kids are going?
They're going to check the Kobe over there.
No, they came from over there. They're not being checked for COVID. So you don't know who you
I
work
need to
for?
call the police.
We need to call the police right now.
Firemancer says, I object. Alex isn't human. He's a frog. He's the straightest frog, I'll have you know. He has no adrazine in his system.
I want to know where these kids are going.
You are violating state law.
Alex Jones, first of all, one of the greatest broadcasters of our age. He says some things that are pretty out there. But as we'll see, some of the out there things he says actually turn out to be true. But I don't know, because I know that Alex Jones is a showman. So I don't know if this video is legit, if he actually caught them. It's kind of...
Showman is a nice way of saying he's a liar. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. So a quick thing to start us off. What are we going to jump to now? Hold on, let me switch to my appropriate channel for this stream. Helps me know which videos I've seen and which ones I haven't. CC hasn't posted anything new, which is a shame. We miss you very much, CC. Call for an Uprising's got some new stuff. Let's take a look at these books that Peter has written, because boy oh boy do I want to read Peter's book, okay? Cannabis Paradise, Cognitive Dissonance by Peter Jonathan Hanna. This is the free sample that's available on Google, so I'm not sharing any material that is not publicly available for free. Introduction. When I was around 12 years old, I used to get these really intense fever dreams. I would get sick, and then I would dream the exact same dream over and over again for what felt like hours. I remember that every time I got sick and had a fever dream, I dreamt that exact same dream. I remember the dream vividly because it produced the most powerful negative feeling that I have ever felt in my whole life. The feeling I felt was fear. The dream was about how I was being forced to balance, juggle the entire world on my body, and if I fell down, then the world would be destroyed, and the destruction of Earth would be blamed on me. Well, Peter, who's left to blame you? You destroyed the Earth, so. To make this even more difficult, I was upside down balancing the world on the bottoms of my feet as I spun around and balanced with my head spinning in circles on the floor. It's really hard to spin on your head really fast while balancing the weight of the entire Earth on the bottoms of your feet. It was so scary because the world weighed billions and billions of tons, and I was just a small boy. Carrying the Earth felt so tough, but I kept on carrying it out of fear that if I dropped it, then the whole world would get destroyed, and it would have been my fault. Peter, even when he's writing and has the ability to edit, he just repeats his points over and over and over. Shi Hakujin with 100 bits says, oh my god, Peter wrote books. I gotta get my hands on those. I think they're only available digitally. I don't think there's physical copies. The world's weight put so much pressure on me, but I kept carrying it. I felt so bad that I had been forced into carrying the whole world and that it wasn't fair, that it was my job. I didn't want to do that. It was too tough, and I didn't like having the pressure of the entire human race being determined by my actions. It felt like way too much pressure to put on a 12-year-old boy. Again, he just repeats the same points 5 times in a single paragraph. He was balancing the world on his feet. He was young. It was tough. One sentence. Looking back, I really loved the dream because it got me used to the feeling of putting that much pressure on myself. That's the pressure that I deliberately and happily put on myself today. I believe that one of the factors that will determine whether Earth will become a utopia or a dystopia is the success of this novel. Uh-oh. We're doomed, chat. This novel has to be perfect. The future of humanity depends on it. There's some delusions of grandeur. This book is dedicated to those that are poor, those that are suffering from so much pain, those that are struggling with debilitating health conditions, and those who are just trying to survive. I hope we can use this book to solve most of our problems. So this is it, chat. This is the key to solving all of humanity's problems. This is great. Pyromancer says it apparently used to be on Amazon, but it was removed. Not sure if it was ever physical. Maybe ask Peter next time. Yeah, I will. Freedom is the name of the first chapter. February 23rd, 2045. Rick Simpson. I actually think, oh my god. Oh no, it's just quotes. I was gonna say, is this written in a screenplay format? I thought it was gonna... Rick Simpson. I actually think the planet Earth could be a paradise if we give it half a chance. Frederick the Great. The greatest and noblest pleasure which men can have in this world is to discover new truths, and the next is to shake off old prejudices. David Icke? Oh no! What we have to do surely is stop being divided by what we don't agree on, and start being united by what we do agree on, which is freedom for all of us. I'm pretty sure David Icke is known for dog whistling JQ conspiracies, right? With his, like, global cabal lizard people stuff. I'm gonna skip the rest of the quotes. Bang! The window of the car made a sharp cracking noise. Silex looked down at his arm. Dad, they shot me, Silex exclaimed. Who shot you? Drogan asked as he slammed his foot on the accelerator of the car. Silex turned around and peered through the cracked window of the car. He could see Jake, his classmate, standing there with a gun pointed at the car. Jake was standing next to a police car. His dad's police car. Jake is going to shoot again. Go, 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 Silex yelled as Drogan zoomed away in the car. Do you think they will chase us? Silex asked his dad. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of the driving. Where did he shoot you? Drogan asked with a concerned tone in his voice. Silex looked down at his arm again. Blood trickled from a nasty 4-inch cut on the top of his arm. The bullet didn't go through Silex, it only grazed him. Silex exhaled in relief. He shot my arm, but it only grazed me, so the bullet must have stopped somewhere else, Silex informed his father. Mom, is there a bullet hole in front of you? Why is he turning, after 2 sentences, sometimes 3, he'll do a new paragraph. Why are his paragraphs like this? Rose took a look around. She was sitting in the seat in front of Silex when the gunshot went off. There isn't anything here, she replied. Silex looked around the back of Rose's seat. A bullet was smashed into a piece of metal in front of him. Oh my God, Silex gasped. The metal on the back seat of the car stopped the bullet. Thank God it did, or it would have pierced right through the seat and harmed you too. Did you have anything in the front of the car that... Okay, I'm already bored. I'm already bored by this, guys. Oh, Peter. So yeah, there's a free sample, I guess, on, the first 90 pages are available as a free sample, actually, on, Google Play. So that's a pretty generous free sample. Thanks, Peter. There's this one, Cannabis, the Key to Becoming Nigh Immortal. Chapter 1, Getting Medical Cannabis Credentials. I know what you must be thinking. What are my credentials? Why does the title say nigh immortal instead of immortal? What does cannabis have to do with becoming nigh immortal? I'll answer the first 2 questions now and the last question throughout this book. This book was designed to ease the reader into seeing medical cannabis from the perspective of its potential as a tool for extending life, retaining youth, and maintaining overall health and homeostasis. As of right now, I don't know of anywhere that you can get a PhD in the effects of cannabis. As far as I know, there are very few places where you can even take a college course on the effects of cannabis. When you do go take these courses, you're taught only a tiny percentage of cannabis's real medical power, and pretty often you're being taught false information about the plant as well. This is because the medical cannabis industry is new, and only recently has there been an exploration of new scientific studies being done on cannabis. Yeah, but Peter, you still need the studies to make medical claims, right? Some of the so-called scientific studies have claimed that cannabis damages your brain, lowers your IQ, and or is bad for children because of their developing brain. Oh God, it is. Peter, no. Peter, are you giving your children marijuana? Peter, do not give your children marijuana. You absolute degenerate. What are you doing? Many who act like they're experts on medical cannabis try to sound balanced, well-researched, and conservative by teaching the negative side effects of cannabis alongside its benefits. The fact is that in their efforts to try to sound less extreme, they end up perpetuating false information about cannabis. From my research, there are no permanent negative effects for anyone of any age consuming cannabis. What research, Peter? Do you have a lab somewhere? Are you biopsying the lungs of people who have smoked cannabis their entire life? Oh, Peter, what are you doing? Holt ETR, thanks for subscribing for 11 months. Yes, disclaimer, I do not know that he's giving it to his kids. That statement makes me concerned that he is giving it to his kids, to be clear. Cannabis does not lower your IQ, damage your brain, or cause any harm to developing brains. Okay, well, studies apparently say the opposite of that, Peter. I'm gonna trust PhD scientists over you. No offense. The temporary negative effects of cannabis, like memory problems, paranoia, anxiety, and decreased muscle motor coordination, can be avoided by using the right strains or the right amounts of cannabis. For example, the memory problems, paranoia, anxiety, and decreased muscle motor coordination can be avoided by using a strain of cannabis with high levels of cannabidiol and low levels of tetrahydrocannabinol. I'm bad with those names. CBD or THC. Or you could just consume small amounts of intoxicating cannabis on a daily basis to slowly build up tolerance. Additionally, there are many strains of cannabis that contain so low amounts of intoxicating phytocannabinoids like THC and THCV that you don't need to build up a tolerance. And also there are CBD-based strains which don't have any negative side effects at all. Again, I'm completely fine with cannabis. I'm fine with medical cannabis in terms of helping people with inflammation and pain relief, anxiety, stuff like that. I actually had a medical marijuana license for anxiety-related stuff, which is great. It's a wonderful thing. But to say that there's no negative effects is just outright untrue. I cannot agree with that statement. Shi-Hakujin says, as an expert on the use of cannabis, yeah, that stuff lowers your IQ, no doubt. Yeah, I would tend to agree. Yeah, maybe we'll have to go over this some more at some point. 2, the legends of the plant that restored youth. Yikes. Yeah, it's not going to make you immortal, Peter. Sorry. Wonder if Peter knows about Jilly Juice. He did an interview about this at some point. Oh my god, the video is 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. Perfect. Blaze it. CBD can impact medication absorption. Yeah, see, there's stuff like that.
I always want to find out like what's the real truth about this plant, because I felt like a lot of people are lying about it. Once you get to a certain point of research and you learn a certain amount about cannabis, you kind of want to tell people all about it. So I decided that I would help people learn and try to do it in a fun way. So I ended up writing a book that hopefully is fun to read and also is educational, and I packed it in with what I believe to be the most advanced science on medical cannabis. So
oh no, Peter thinks he's the most advanced scientist on medical cannabis. Peter, you're not a scientist. I find it interesting that Peter has spent his time jumping from sort of one thing to another to try and be successful. He was doing this like alt health thing, which is why his initial channel was called like Health Sanctuary Family. It was going to be like a channel, it seems to me at least, that was, he had a family, but he also wanted to do this alt health stuff. And then once he got into the QAnon nonsense, he turned the channel into that, which inadvertently destroyed the channel because it got deleted because, you know, that's a no-no on YouTube. I just find it interesting that he's depending on these little schemes, whatever you want to call them, to make money instead of just getting like a regular everyday job. I wonder why.
I wanted to do something that couldn't be replicated on the internet, you know. You can find information about cannabis on the internet, but can you be entertained through a story while you learn about the plant? So I felt like this was something different that wasn't out there yet. I really do think that the more people start using cannabis to its fullest potential, the more like utopian that specific society will become. My book is called Cannabis Paradise.
That's nice to think about. But no, Peter, you're not going to get a utopia because a bunch of people are smoking dank weed, okay?
Because I kind of try to imagine a society that did use it to its fullest potential and then kind of, you know, let the user decide, you know, is that cannabis paradise or is that paradise or not? The subtitle of my book is Cognitive Dissonance, which is, for me, one of the most fascinating parts of the book. Cognitive dissonance is kind of like, you know, when your belief systems are kind of fighting each other. When people hear that cannabis cures cancer, all these thoughts go on in your head like, well, then why aren't doctors using it? Or why aren't the cancer associations admitting it? Or why aren't oncologists promoting it? All of those beliefs that contradict the statement that cannabis cures cancer, I find that fascinating. And I really hope that my
Cannabis does not cure cancer, Peter. It just doesn't.
book can debunk all those beliefs and say like, okay, yeah, oncologists are not recommending it, but it's because of money, you know, or, you know, the government hasn't admitted that cannabis cures cancer.
It's so funny too, because especially if you were like smoking cannabis, like with flower as opposed to, and even with vapes, I'm sure it's a concern because any foreign thing like that you put in your lungs is going to increase your risk of cancer, Peter. How can you say this when the inhalation of it itself is a potential carcinogen? Colossus TV says there are clearly a chip in the bowl when he got his hair cut. Oh, come on. That's not nice. Don't say that.
But that's because pharmaceutical industry controls and lobbies the government. So
Yeah. Cannabis can be used to help increase quality of life for cancer patients. It can decrease pain. It can help people's appetites when they're on certain treatments or if they're dealing with side effects of the cancer that can stimulate their appetite. Yeah, all that stuff is true. I think someone called it palliative care or palliative care, which, yes, that's a wonderful thing. But he's not claiming that. He's claiming it can cure cancer, which it cannot. Steve with a Q says, so Peter's experimented extensively with marijuana. Those alien stories are making a lot more sense now. Yeah.
I try to explain, you know, all these things so that when people hear cannabis cures cancer, they're not like, oh, that's impossible because it'd be all over the news. It is possible, but it's being suppressed. I mainly focused on the medical properties because I wanted that to be the highlight of the book. Because I think that when you talk about cannabis, the medical properties is the real like feature that most people should be focused on the most. I definitely wanted to make people realize that the government has made a really big mistake with making cannabis illegal, and that
they sure did. The war on drugs is a nightmare that's turned us into a nation with the highest prison population per capita. It's a nightmare. It's bad, but it doesn't cure cancer. Sorry.
You know, they've done a lot of people harm and in doing that, and I wanted to make that crystal clear because
Windshanter says I experimented with marijuana every day and I've never seen any aliens. Yeah, it is hyperbole. I also have never... Weed isn't like that. You don't see things on weed. At least I never have.
Times what really motivates a revolution and motivates people to do something is emotion. So I definitely wanted to stir up emotions. The U.S. government, you know, they're basically going from, we've said it's not medical for what, like 80 years or more, and now they're kind of like, oh, well, there's a bill that's going to pass that we may allow it to be, you know, rescheduled from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2, which means, well, it has medical value. All right, that's great, but at the same time, it'd be great if there should be a formal apology to all the people that have died because they have access to medicine, a formal apology to all the people they threw in jail, throwing, you know, hundreds of thousands of people a year into jail.
Yeah, I agree with Peter on that one.
For a medical plant that was healing people is a really big deal. And
the
I
framing
wanted
of saying it was
it
healing people I don't agree with, but yeah, people who've been thrown in jail for non-violent drug offenses with marijuana, stupid.
I think that we become desensitized to thinking that that's normal.
This does count as my research on the bingo card, yes. Because he literally said, my research. my research said, not by a researcher.
It's not a big deal, but I think it is a big deal. If you are healing someone, if you have a 2-year-old son and you're healing them, cancer with cannabis oil, and
You're not. That's not how it works.
and you throw the father in jail because they're doing that, I think that's a bit barbaric. If you're trying to save your child's life, they should definitely have that opportunity. And if they're definitely not only not doing harm, but they're healing someone, they should be allowed to do it. So I'm trying to explain how this current situation is barbaric, and the government really has to make it up for us. And they have to do more than just be like, oh, I guess it is medical. They should do more. I think things are going in the right way, and I definitely think in 10, 15 years, most, if not all, the states in the United States will have legalized, at least medical cannabis.
Probably. I do find that interesting, though, that he is a right-winger and follows Trump, who obviously, for one thing, his first attorney general was like Jeff Sessions, who was very anti-marijuana, so that's kind of funny. Weird stuff. Patriot Depot. Don't blame me, I voted for Trump. Oh, God. This is just a shirt it's an AOC, but with a, like a no symbol. We'll go over the bingo card in a sec. Sorry. I'm saving this for Chud Watch, because that stuff's too good. Alright, let's go over the bingo card. Then we'll do another Peter video. And then we'll move on to other stuff. But he did post a new video today. That's not how science works. When did reptilians come up? Neural Alchemist, thanks for subscribing for 4 months, says thanks for the amazing content. Well, I'm glad you think it's amazing. Thank you. Is there anything else I'm missing in the bingo card? Your Warhammer party commission is finished. That looks great. Let me see that. Neato. What are the two on the bottom right? Nothing. Those are just bingo tokens, basically, that are in empty spaces. That looks great. Who do you get to commission that? That looks really good. Maybe pimp them in the chat, because that's a nice commission. At Face Speaker on Twitter did that commission. Good to know. Hold on, a chud messaged me, whispered me on Twitch. Let me laugh at this real quick. I love those people. I like to just laugh at them. That's always fun. Okay. So after our discussion the other day, you'd think maybe Peter would have learned to stop. Let me just say at the beginning of this, everything I say about Peter is my opinion, okay? And not any sort of accusation of any sort. These are my opinions, and my opinions only. So let's take a look at what Peter has to say after our discussion. Surprise, he's learned nothing.
Hello everyone, welcome to the finale of Peter's Political Perspective. This is a very important episode. It's a final episode, and it's all an episode about having faith and trusting Trump. My name is Peter Hanna. This is Peter's Political Perspective.
Final episode because he's moving off of YouTube and onto Mike Pillow's new website. Mike Pillow, Mike Lindell, has a new social media website that's supposed to be opening on the 20th, 420, blaze it. And Peter's going to be moving his content there, and he's renaming the show from Peter's Political Perspective to, I think it's like Peter's Sky High Politics or something, which is just objectively a worse name in my opinion. Objectively, in my opinion, that's an oxymoron. You get what I mean. Andrew Batella says I keep misreading it as Franken-speech.
Soon I'm going to show you a video that I saw recently posted by Dan Scavino that I really like. And it's just a video that does pull my heartstrings because it's a poem that is my favorite poem and it's very relevant to today. And the poem is said alongside a video montage of Trump. Now, before I show you that video to end...
It's going to be as disappointing as the Game of Thrones finale, is it? More so. Who has a better story than Peter Hanna? Quest Friendly, thanks for subscribing for 11 months.
My Peter's Political Perspective show. I just want to let everyone know that no matter what things look like, the movement that we're in is all, a bunch of it is based on faith. If you're looking around and you kind of see what's going on, it's easy to lose faith, but...
Pyromancer says, taking bets on how quickly a new site goes down from DDoS is because they have shoddy infrastructure. Oh, I think that day it'll go down, honestly.
It's important to keep hope and keep faith.
I don't trust a guy who can't even make a competent pillow to create a social media website that's supposed to compete with YouTube and Twitter, which is what he claims it's supposed to be.
What I know is that based on my research of the Cabal and Illuminati, there is a depopulation plan being put forth. I mean, what are the vaccines for?
That's a good question, Peter. They are for people who are afraid of getting COVID, because COVID is a disease that can I think it's 20% of people who get COVID so far have permanent lung damage that affects their quality of life for the rest of their life. So people don't want that. They also want to protect themselves or their loved ones if they're in a high-risk group. So that would be why. Carp Cozian with $3 says, Peter was very cocky about suing you, like thought you would be scared by it. I just finished watching that bit ago. Hopefully he breaks out by the end of the year and becomes a productive person. He won't. This video tells me he has learned nothing, even after our discussion. Population control is a motive on the bingo card, yes.
Why has Trump allowed vaccines to roll out? Why did he allow it to happen? One theory is natural selection.
2 snipers on the White House at the moment. Nice. Ender92 says, was signed up for the Johnson & Johnson today happened. Well, guess I'll have to wait. Yeah, hopefully you should get the Moderna or Pfizer ones. White House live stream. Let's see if we can see a White House live stream. Do-do-do-do-do. God, this camera angle is so far away. I want to say I can see someone in the corner here, but it's pretty tough to see considering this is a further camera angle than the other video was.
90% of vaccines are being given to Democrats.
Okay, here's what annoys me about this. Peter got all up in a bunch because there was a video in which I implied he wants his enemies to die, and he's like, I never said that. So you know what? I said, you know, Peter, that's fair. I'll go ahead and I'll be nice and I'll delete that video for you, and I did. Which is fine, because I have plenty of other Peter content. But here he is in this video being like, why did Trump allow the vaccine to come out? Well, because mostly Democrats are going to get it, and if it kills them, it's fine, is the implication here, in my opinion.
What are the vaccines for? Why has Trump allowed vaccines to roll out? Why did he allow it to happen? One theory is natural selection. 90% of vaccines are being given to Democrats. is natural selection bad or just the normal course of things?
Okay, see what I'm saying? He's implying that Trump is intentionally getting a bunch of Democrats killed via vaccine, and then he's mad at me when I say, like, boy, it sure seems like Peter wants all his political enemies out of the picture, huh? So disingenuous. It's ridiculous.
So,
by the way, that would be against the Geneva Conventions to do something like that. Sorry, I'm seeing if I missed anything in the chat.
trust the plan. The Patriots
Oh, I downloaded the video if I want to put it back up.
are in control. I saw this post by Mr. 17 that I really liked, and I wanted to read it before I show this video. But I just want to remind you all that Trump's confidence and his optimism is the only hint, the only piece of evidence that we need that really matters in the end of the day. I could show you a piece of evidence, it could get debunked. I could show you a date, it could be wrong. But Trump is our commander-in-chief, and he is the person leading the charge to save the world right now. And if our lives were in danger, Trump would ask us to retreat. But his smile and his optimism is encouragement to...
Peter, Donald Trump does not care about you. He does not care about you at all. You need to learn that. There's basically no politician in the entire country that actually gives a shit about their constituents. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying very few of them do, and Donald Trump is not one of them. So you need to get over that.
all the patriots.
He is using you. You're used up. He used you already, and then he lost the election, and now he's pouting at his golf club in Florida. Marvelously, thank you for subscribing with a 2-month streak, says my PPP is rising. And then Stephen J. Neptune Man says, those Trump posters that portray him as some sort of badass aren't any different from the posters that portrayed Stalin and Kim Jong-il as deities. And then Pyromancer says, Trump's care is contingent on money and praise. Yeah, he's a narcissist. And also Andrew Patella says, how does any of what he's saying relate at all to natural selection? Excuse me, what? Yeah, he thinks that the vaccine is going to do something bad, which it isn't. Get the vaccine, please. I've already gotten my first dose. So he's saying that Democrats who get the vaccine are, well, it's their own fault that they're going to get wiped out. Yeah, bad stuff.
That we must move forward in this battle digitally. He's asked us to be digital soldiers. And any type of violence I condone. And I think... And any type of violence I condone. Digital soldiers. And any type of violence I condone. Digital soldiers. And any type of violence I condone.
I'm going to be charitable here and assume that was a Freudian slip. I assume he meant condemn. But I think he accidentally said the quiet part out loud. In my opinion. Pyromancer says he was called out in the comments as mistaking it for condemn. Yeah.
And I think that the military has everything under control. So have faith in Trump. The fact that he's optimistic and confident means we should be optimistic and confident. Now, you might be wondering, why is this video titled April 19th, Patriots Day? Well, let me read you a very important...
Bear in mind, today is April 13th. So 6 days until this date.
Piece of information that I saw that I think is relevant to today. Normally, I wouldn't post something like this, but I don't care at this point.
That's a sweet phone case, though. Good taste in phone case, Peter.
My YouTube account gets terminated. I'm moving to frankspeech.com. I'm going to have a new show called Pete's Sky High Politics, and you'll be able to find me there. So just search for Peter Hanna Frank Speech when it comes out on April 20th. Mike Lindell's new website. You'll be able to find me there. It doesn't matter what happens to this YouTube channel. Because of that, I'm going to read something which I normally wouldn't say because I would be afraid of the consequences. But this is my finale, so I'm going to end with a bang. Post 521. We are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war.
He's literally reading a Q post right now.
It's referring to the fact that we're in
Peter will be the only thing that's sky high. I gotta get a little drum set so I could actually do a rim shot.
the middle of World War III. Not everything will be clean. Scare, necessary event. In other words, the fear.
Yeah, that's citing Q on the bingo card. Literally. Usually we gotta get a little bit stretchy with our definition of that, but no, he is straight up doing it. Oh, also population control is a motive on the bingo card. Sorry.
Is supposed to happen. There's supposed to be panic now. There's supposed to be fear. That is part of the plan. It's okay if some Republicans are scared. That's okay. This is all part of the plan. Or maybe there's a scare event coming that's going to be more scary. Do you trust the U.S. military? I do. Majority of the U.S. military, between 89%, support Trump.
I don't know where he gets that 89% number. Hold on. Military support for Trump. What I actually saw was that military support for Trump is actually way lower than it was for previous presidents. Republican presidents, rather. Sorry. Let me see if this has the actual number on it. According to the well-regarded Military Times poll conducted in July, August, of just over 1,000 troops of all ranks, his support amongst the military is about 38% with a favorable view and nearly 50% holding an unfavorable view, including 42% who strongly disapprove of his time in office. The same poll has former Vice President Biden leading Trump by 4 points, 37% to 41%. This is particularly surprising given traditional support for the Republican Party amongst the military. Trump's repeated claims about how popular he is with the force and his strong push to increase defense spending, Trump has essentially reversed his favorable-unfavorable numbers over his 4 years in office, declining by almost 10 points in favorability and increasing unfavorability views by 13%. Like, it's actually bananas. Like, remember, bear in mind, Donald Trump has been on the record being like, I like soldiers who don't get captured and become POWs. And doing a whole bunch of really disrespectful stuff for the military. So, let me see. Decline in support. Yeah, he started at 46 support and ended at 37 and ended at 49 against. So, the military does not support Donald Trump the way Peter seems to think that they do. Like, let me see. Military vote 2020. I imagine they still picked Trump in 2020, more or less. Hold on. This is the same one. Troops in the 2020 election. If the presidential election were held today, whom would you vote for? Joe Biden won that poll. 12% were third party, which is a huge amount. Probably Republicans who don't want to vote for Donald Trump. Like, I don't know where Peter's getting this idea. Like, this is Trump backed by a majority of veterans, but not younger people in the force. Let me see. Donald Trump is only at 52% here. Joe Biden is at 42 and third party is at 4.6. Like, that is not... That's not good. Like, under 34, Biden wins. Age 34 to 54, Biden wins. Only in the 55-plus range of veterans does Trump win in the military. Are you seriously telling me that you think veterans above 55 are going to take on the 34 to 54 range from the military and win? Not that any of this is going to happen anyway, but just, like, his idea that the military... huge majority, 80-something% supports Trump is just demonstrably false. I don't know where he gets this idea. Okay, there's some bits messages I missed. Pyromancer says, but Hannah, 17, has the true numbers of true patriotic military members. Bardlock Moses says, I'm a vet and I always hated Trump. Oh, here's what it was. The actual... end result for, yeah, the vote was Trump 52, Biden 45. That's really close for the military. They normally swing very far to the right. Cool Sage with 20 bits says, I had no idea how predisposed to and cult-like in conspiratorial thinking he actually was until seeing that stream the other day. He's got it all. Q, alien abductions, time travel, Moonies, Mooney gun cults. He's like a loot crate of bat shit. I like that. Have I considered stopping and learning to trust the plan? I guess that's my bad. Ender92 says, this feels like an abusive relationship with my mother when she constantly said, don't worry, your present is coming next week. No, I didn't see the money you had in your room, etc., etc., or steal, rather, sorry.
And support the Constitution, the oath.
It would be like Red Dawn, the
they swore an
retirement
oath
years.
to protect the Constitution, and that is what they swore an oath to. They did not swear an oath to follow the chain of commands. And
that's literally what it is. The chain of command is part of the Constitution. The president's the commander-in-chief. How do you think this works, Peter?
And obey Biden's orders. The military is backing Trump. You can bank on it.
No, they're not. Not in the numbers that you are claiming.
Fact.
And certainly not in the leadership. Holt ETR says, Peter is a living example of Hanlon's razor. Gosh, what's Hanlon's razor? Is that Pose? Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Do you trust the chain of command? I do. I trust the military and the chain of command. Have faith. We are in control. Patriots. Patriots Day. When is Patriots Day? April 19th. That, I think, might be a great day to go on the offensive. In the sense, not that we're just digital soldiers sharing information. What I mean is that Trump's
digital soldiers, aka LARPers. NM Broodwitch, thanks for subscribing with 5 months. Happy 5-month anniversary. Tucker White says, all these Q people keep saying Trump will return, but what I want to know is when JFK Jr. is returning. I've waited nearly 5 years for this resurrection. Pyromancer says, you heard it here, Peter believes in Biden. True! Mike Mack says, conspiracy theorists, vaccines are bad, and they are used for population control. Peter, don't worry, guys. Trump is allowing the vaccines to be produced and to be used for population control. Yeah, it's not about that he thinks population control is bad. He just thinks it should be used against his enemies, the Democrats. Hypocrite! Again, in my opinion.
Battle to defeat the deep state might go on a very offensive mode starting April 19th, which coincidentally the next day is April 20th, which is the day that Mike Lindell is releasing his frankspeech.com. Very interesting how this lines up. Possibly one of the most important websites of all time, frankspeech.com.
Hold on. We didn't do satanic ritual child abuse yet, did we? Nor Illuminati? Nor Hannah Dies of Laughter. Yeah, most of those are not things that we said. How is this video not TOS? We're literally watching someone OD on copium live.
Released a day after Patriots Day. You were chosen for a reason.
Did we do Illuminati? Who said Illuminati? If multiple people are saying it, I'm going to tend to believe you, but I don't remember when. You said it in the first 5 seconds. If you say so. Definitely didn't get Hannah Dies of Laughter, though.
If you're part of this movement, if you're Republican, if you're conservative, if you're part of...
And what was the other one? Did we even get satanic ritual child abuse yet? I don't think that's been mentioned.
17 Army, if you're a digital warrior, you
digital
were chosen
warrior
by Trump, by Team 17, by God, for this moment in time. Have faith. Have hope. It's all going to work out.
It's Q, that's a given. That's not how it works.
You are being provided.
It has to be specifically mentioned.
The highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. Q.
That's his mic drop. He thinks he's nailing it right now. I read an 8-coon post. Boom, liberals, suck it.
Trump has a plan. The plan is to save the world. Never.
Donald Trump can't even walk on a golf course by himself without a golf cart. He couldn't do 9 holes, much less save the goddamn world. Mitchell Drummer says, to the theme of Digimon, QAnon digital warriors. Let's not give him ideas.
Never doubt Trump. He showed us he is good. He showed us he is smart. And this plan has been in the works for 60 years. Some people are a little upset that things aren't going as fast as they want it to, but the fact is not a movie where you can defeat the bad guys in a few minutes. They're taking down a satanic cabal that has...
Oh, now he did. See, you just gotta be patient, okay? He says the things eventually. Satanic... Tucker White says, what will these Q people do when Trump croaks and meets the almighty corn? That's going to be when they start saying, oh, he's just pretending to be dead to hide from the deep state.
Control the world for thousands of years. This cabal has their tentacles intertwined in major industries, governments, all around the world. So defeating it is not that simple, but Trump does have a plan, and it will all work out. Have faith, everyone. Have hope. Join me on frankspeech.com. Search for Peter Hanna, Pete's Sky High.
Yeah, we can do thinly veiled anti-Semitism for that. Even if Peter doesn't understand that's where a lot of the cabal stuff comes from, he did say the deep state, and we can do thinly veiled anti-Semitism. I don't think Peter knows he's doing thinly veiled anti-Semitism, but he's doing it. We need to react to this channel. He even got a series of videos claiming that the English language is a lie and that words are magic spells. I think I pulled this up.
Hey guys, so
I think I did already, right? Somewhere? Either way, we can check it out.
Hi.
Tucker White says, Peter, those tentacles that control all the corporations aren't the satanic cabal. They're the robber barons.
Politics is the new name. Pete's, not Peter's. Pete's, because I like 21. Pete's Sky High. Politics is the new name. Pete's, not Peter's. Pete's.
Did you see that little shimmy he did? That was cute.
Okay. Politics is the new name. Pete's, not Peter's. Pete's. Because I like 21 letters in my new thing. I don't want to do 22. I like the number 3. So 21 is divisible by 3. My new title for my new show will be 21 letters for luck. And, 3 times 7 is 21. It's a lucky amount of letters. So
numerology on the bingo card. Where is numerology? There we go.
Pete's Sky High Politics. Join me on frankspeech.com. Look for me there, Peter Hanna, April 20th. There'll be a new show revealing who I really am, uncensored, what I've really been wanting to tell you guys.
I am so excited.
And get ready. Patriot State could be when Trump goes on the offensive, finally.
Biomancer says, pro tip, Peter, your title is 20 and not 21. Nick says he has... I'm not reading that.
I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. I know this is another date, but who knows? Patriots Day is a great day. This is a day that has been mentioned by Mr. 17, Team 17, and either it could be disinformation or it could be the real deal. But who knows? I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. Stay optimistic. Stay hopeful. Trump will save us, save the world. I promise you that. I guarantee it. That is for sure. All right, everyone. To end this Peter's Political Perspective, this finale, I have this wonderful video to show to you guys. So enjoy. Thank you for watching all my shows, supporting me, and look forward to seeing you all on frankspeech.com. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the show.
If
by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim.
This is
If you
embarrassing.
can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken,
Yeah, I have
twisted
that one
by
open,
knaves
thank
to
you.
make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools.
Must be one of the top go-to for trailer music, and Tiger White says, don't drag Yard Kipling into your conspiracy BS.
If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve
Razzle
and
tazzle.
sinew
He's
to
got a lot
serve
to
your
learn
turn
before he's ready
long
to
after
save
they are
anyone, but
gone,
I believe Trump
and
can
so
save
hold
the
on
world.
when there is nothing in
This was released after our discussion, yes.
you except the will which says
No,
to them,
not word salad.
hold on. If you can talk
This
with
is a
crowds
poem.
and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor
Do I think Peter would lick Trump's shoes if he asked him to? I think he'd lick more than his shoes.
loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Jesus Christ, Peter, please stop. You know, technically I had the power to make Peter stop, but I chose not to. Apparently his wife was going to make him stop making videos if I didn't delete that video, where I said that thing about him that he was mad about. So I told him I'd delete it, and I did, so we can keep going. Sorry. Nick says, yay, I got my I'm not reading that cherry broken. And then Mike Mack says, it's funny and sad that many of these conspiracy theories have become the thing they hate. Yeah. Put it back. Nah, I'll leave it down. It's fine. I gotta keep getting that sweet, sweet Peter content, people, okay? We all need it. Pyromancer says, monkey's paw. True. One sec. Why would I do that? I guess I'm just a big ol' softy. So that's Peter. We're done with Peter for the day. That's more than enough Peter. This is something about fake cabbage? My cabbages.
Cabbage. Cabbage. That is used for coleslaw. That is used for cooking. Bought in Brooklyn. An experiment, or is it food modification? This is where we are today. Natural cabbage, just bought yesterday. I'm going to hot it
Can't play
and
that.
put it directly over the flame. Pump it over the flame. Nothing. Next side. Over the flame. Nothing.
They have really, really high water content, lady.
I'm gonna put it again. My fingers getting burned, but the cabbage ain't burned. Nothing. Cabbage still green, no burn. Over direct flame. No burn. Now look at what it is. When you stretch it now, it's like plastic.
How have human beings survived this long? As a group, we're pretty good, but individually, we are such idiots.
Plastic. Look. Look. Oh, it's shining. Look. Plastic. This is the cabbage. Burnt cabbage over a hot flame. Didn't even budge. So imagine
Americans
what it is
solving
doing
everything
in
with
our
guns and
stomach,
fire since day
our
one.
intestines, all our vital organs. Look. Nothing. Look.
If it was plastic, it would have melted or burned.
You can see it shining there like plastic. I'm stretching it. Look. Look. Be careful with the foods you eat. Take notice. Take warning. Bye.
So is she just never going to eat cabbage again since it's all going to react like that? Wing the Ultimate Nug says we survived literally because we work in a group.
Hi, I
That's
like most
it,
people
no joke.
was,
Yeah. Zozo Horror Show says these people saw a video of them making display food and now think their cabbage was fake. Querulous Artisan says humans survived individually off sheer stubbornness. And Tucker White says, and this woman thinks cabbage is fake because it won't burn. I mean, is that not... Oh my god, is this another video? Oh. Yeah. Okay, that was a quick one. What's this one? Someone sent me this guy. This is called Symbolism, 3 Red Banners of the Communist Democratic Party. Ah, yes. We all know the Democrats are well known for being incredibly left-leaning and working for workers' rights. Wing the Ultimate Nug says that's why America is so shitty right now, not because we actively try to destroy communities, especially minority ones, for profit.
I want to pump out this video and come at you real quick. That the Joe Biden campaign symbolism is obviously the symbol of the 3 red banners.
Spurious symbology is evidence. I've seen them making display vegetables before.
And the 3 red banners... And the 3 red banners is a communist Chinese party ideological slogan in the late 1950s, on which called on the Chinese people to build the socialist communist party. The 3 red banners, also called the 3 red flags, and that's a red flag right there. That's 1 red flag, 2 red flag, 3 red flags, and you're out. Consistent for the general line for socialist construction, the Great Leap Forward, the People's Communes, the 5-year plan, the People's Republic of China.
Word
and
salad.
So, of course,
word salad. Word salad. Word salad. Does no one have bingo yet? This is bonkers. I'm already out of bingo markers.
This is yet more communist socialist agenda. Being promoted by the extreme radical democratic left.
Is he literally going to shout buzzwords the whole video? It sure sounds like it.
The far left is actually the exact same esoteric symbolism used by the previous Obama campaign slogan.
It's a reference to the American flag, you idiot. It's a visual reference to the American flag, you stupid, stupid person.
Logo or symbolism, slogo, logo, slogan, slogo. And so obviously this is no coincidence. Symbolism will be their downfall. And where we go one, we go all. And this is all in the campaign to, you know, for senile Sleepy Joe, you know, and criminal Kamala, and of course they're all criminals. You know, Trump campaign, you know, his Zionist.
That's not even thinly veiled anti-Semitism. That's just anti-Semitism. Yikerinos. Hold on. Oh no, I gotta add this person to my regulars. Conspiracy folks.
Jewish
Living up to his channel name, indeed. Giga Sam, thanks for subscribing.
cartel
I don't condone anything this guy says. Obviously, he's a piece of trash.
that is responsible for his campaign and his election committee and his whole cabinet, and who he bows down to, who he pays homage to, is the Jewish Zionist real estate elite, as well in Israel. So, you know, either side is equally as corrupt.
Yikes. Gross. Zozo Horror Show says, you go to a girl's house after a date and she has a flag of the USSR up on her wall. That's a big red flag. Nick says, so would that blatant dog whistle count as thinly veiled anti-Semitism, or does it have to have a veil? It does have to have a veil, but we did get that earlier already, so you can mark that on your bingo card.
Although the far left is far more intellectually inept, although it's this whole campaign, you know, it's the good cop, bad cop routine. Trump is playing the bad cop, you know, Sleepy Joe is playing the good cop, and Trump is putting on the act of the bad cop, you know, in order to herd everybody into the far left, and vice versa as well. It's a herd campaign. It is.
Oh, someone got bingo. Who got bingo? Post me your bingo card so I can look at it.
Using a turd sandwich and a giant douche in order to, you know.
I often get my serious political opinions from South Park. Wait, who was the actual person that said bingo first? Because multiple people are sending me links. 3 people have called bingo. Who was number 1? Moving On Quietly has won. I think it was Moving On Quietly, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to look to make sure it is the correct person. Rant the Fool, I think. Wait, did Rant the Fool do it first? Because Rant the Fool's bingo card came up right before yours. I think it was Rant the Fool. Sorry. You were very close. Word salad, QAnon, thinly veiled, satanic deep state. Yeah. Or Ran the Fool. No, Rant the Fool. That's correct. Hold on. Let me pull up my card. File. Recent. Bingo winners. Okay, Rant the Fool wins. Photos with a G says I also did about 10 minutes ago. I didn't see it. Why didn't you post more? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Guys, when you get bingo, at me so it highlights the comment, okay? Otherwise, it's going to get lost in the chat. You got to at me, please. You did? If you say so. Let me see if I can go up long enough, far enough and find it. Well, KR Goss gifted you a sub anyway. I'll write you on the list anyway. That's my fault. I apologize for not seeing it. Sorry about that, genuinely. But I put you on the list anyway, because that's my fault. Back to the video.
You know, make people vote for the lesser of 2 idiots, as if there's only 2 choices of experts to basically to guide our every influence of our lives. It hinges upon two men out of the countless.
If the launch of Frank debate is a misattribution of coincidence, then bingo. Wait, did Baja get a bingo? Satanic, Illuminati, misattribution, that's no science. Okay. Baja also wins. But only because of nepotism.
Billions of experts in the world who are engineers and, you know, and actually people of high
photos with a G. Great.
Competence, and
I put them on the list. So.
Have actual impacts on, you know, society in positive ways, inventing lots of things, have tons of expertise, you know, professors of epidemiology, you know, things like that. But no, we have two people that we have to choose from to consolidate power into these choices at the very pinnacle, or the
boy, I guess we should change our first past the post voting system then, huh?
Apex, the capstone. So you only have two choices. The good cop, bad cop herds one of your two choices into one of these two men, and that's it. You know, you don't have a choice outside of anyone else other than this. This is your menu. This is your limited selection. This is your false dichotomy. This is your illusion of choice. And of course, the Sleepy Joe, you know, far left, radical, democratic.
You know, the far left that loves Joe Biden.
Campaign is appealing to trusting the science. And Joe Biden's ad campaigns apparently have been telling me that he has the ability, one man has the ability to eradicate coronavirus.
I don't think that's the implication. I think the implication is that Biden as executive would listen to actual doctors and scientists, unlike Donald Trump, who very much did not like to do that.
Well, I am so relieved. I am absolutely so relieved by that, because I'm so glad that one man, a president, mind you, no less, has the ability to eradicate coronavirus
wow, imagine being this obtuse.
From the earth. By being elected, of course. He can't do it until he's elected.
Yeah, usually you need to be elected to have governmental power. Do you know how anything works, you idiot?
I'm voting.
No, it's literally just a campaign ad.
Of course, he's lit because, obviously, we have to listen to the science, of course. And
yes, you should if you're not an idiot.
Of course, he's listening to the science, even though he literally doesn't cite any facts or any evidence, just as none of the mainstream media, none of these politicians cite any of the epidemiology, none of the data, none of the actual source information. So this whole thing is based on an agenda to advance the Chinese Communist Party plan of the social credit system and the biometric biosecurity surveillance state.
That's a lot of buzzwords.
Based upon COVID-19 digital identity transactions and digital identity passports, based upon your social credit score and how many false news posts you've posted on social media will determine your accessibility and your desirability to be able.
This isn't BitChute. It's not. This is on YouTube.
To receive government mandated rations at Walmart.
This feels like a Mad Libs. It feels like conspiracy Mad Libs to pick up supplies at the Walmart.
Government mandated grocery stores that will be your only access to food and resources coming in.
Grocery stores are already my only resource of food. I don't go hunting.
In the future. Because they will ban everything else other than large corporate monopolies. They will ban all small chains, all small businesses.
What small chain grocery stores still exist that anyone goes to?
All of that will be eradicated in this Chinese Communist Party regime that is coming, no matter who you vote for. This is the agenda, this is the plan, and you will trust the plan.
Wow. This guy is legit wild. What is this garbage? There's another video someone sent to the same guy.
How do I begin to invite you on this journey? Is it by telling you about how we've been unwittingly cast into the mold of ancient spells from which we get our modern spelling?
Cat the Satanist says, this hurts my head. So many words to say absolutely nothing.
Cast just like a mold, or perhaps like a net, while caught like fish in the net of spells and spelling which have been cast, thus sentencing us to life sentences and the curses of this cursive, which are just terms, like serving a prison term. So we've been sentenced to the wards of these words, which can be deadly as swords if misunderstood. Or perhaps you missed the understanding of my terms, or possibly the sibyls of my syllables, or even the ancient rites of modern writing. We languish in our languid
Is this just a word association exercise?
Language in anguish ever since the ancient times of the English Angus, and the phony phonetic phonics of the ancient Phoenician Phoenix. How is it that we've been cast into this mold of spelling? Could it be, possibly, a form of government? From the Latin root govern, to control, and ment or mentalis, meaning mind, to control the mind, as government. English as a tool of phonic phonetics by the phony Phoenician Phoenix reflects the creativity and cunning genius of the human race, which of course is not a race at all unless you're just another rat caught in this daily maze of this rat race, of this human race, against one another. We draw money from our banks, which are the edges of a river, which flows in currents to the sea, which is why it's called currency.
I hate this. Is this the whole video?
Which is why they included it in the Bible.
No, okay.
Which sails the high seas.
But it goes on for like 4 minutes.
And repeat the verse and piracy of the high sea. Look into this topic further if it sounds interesting to you and you are starting to actually see the connections between...
What was the last video? Hold on, I'll pull it up. Oh, I don't know if I have it anymore. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Sorry.
How all languages have the same roots. Back in
Lirashay says, I'm not high enough for this, and Pyromancer says, you better go over quantum grammar.
Ancient traditions.
Call Me Mommy says, I'm not high enough for this, and I'm P high? Cool Sage says it's like a slam poem, except it's more of an awkward flop poem.
And this has been going on for thousands of years, which is why they included it in the Bible and said, let us go down and corrupt their language that they may not understand one another.
5-month-old video? Okay.
So that's how it's been done for thousands of years. I'm not the one doing it right now. I'm just showing you how it's been done, so that you can actually see the connections between these words that we would deem as homophones, which they're homophones, which come from the phony Phoenician phonetics of phonics and how words sound, because that's the magic in it. That's where the magic comes in.
I don't know what this guy's on, but I want some. Done with him. That's just insufferable. We'll definitely watch him another time, though. This is Gaia. This is a channel that Peter referenced in our debate. Discussion, not a debate, sorry. The Rise of the Atlantean Empire. Oh no, this is like spirit science bullshit.
Lottery or, you know, what's...
Nope. Nope. Not dealing with this today. Just not feeling it. I put this guy in my stuff, right? I did. Oh, that's the same video. Gaia is a good example of bad SEO. SEO. Gonna have to spell that out for SEO. Search engine optimization is what I know that to mean, but what do you mean? Overthought says, but we drive on a parkway and park on a driveway, then we can't find a way to park, so we keep driving. Beautiful. Oh, no. Too generic of a term to name your channel. Yeah, I get that. CC's got nothing new. What's Taboo Conspiracy got on the menu for Flat Earth stuff
everyone.
today?
Today, I feel compelled to talk about the globe propagandists again. I hate
Flat Earth on the bingo card if you care to still be playing. Dragonfly, thank you for subscribing for 5 months. Says 5 already. I don't have any more bingo things, but just know that Flat Earth is now marked.
hate to feed these lying trolls, but I think you'll find this a bit funny and informative. Let's begin with this individual here, and I apologize up front for sharing his juvenile video. I have no idea what his name is, and I really don't care. But he goes by the YouTube name FTFE. I personally believe you can discern his character and the intelligence of his audience just from this one little clip.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fight the Flat Earth. I've watched some of his content. I try and mostly avoid being outright mean. I don't even like when I call someone like an idiot or something. That only happens when I get really, really frustrated, and I really shouldn't do it. But like Fight the Flat Earth's content is like 90% calling flat earthers idiots and just using like the R word against them. It's really, really stupid. I'm being hyperbolic with the 90%, but just saying.
Sadly, let's just say that I don't think truth, logic, reason, evidence, and goodness are important to any of these people. And so I won't be subscribing. I could go through the whole video because it is just awful. But I really don't want to waste my entire day listening to propaganda tripe. This clip begins with an older video of mine, and then we will get to watch his genius reply. They believe that the alleged ISS spaceship, which most certainly looks like a kid's model, which was never assembled on Earth for testing, is actually falling.
What are you talking about? They test the individual pieces. What are you talking about? And then they assemble it in space.
Perpetually at 17,000 miles per hour in the vacuum of space. That's stupid.
It's not. It's not, though.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Why would they assemble and test something on Earth that is designed to spend its entire life cycle in space?
What a genius. Can you believe that someone could actually say something as dumb as that with a straight face? Hey, all of you engineers, you can all go home now. Don't worry about any safety tests on that fully assembled Boeing 787. It's going to spend most of its time in the air, and so there's nothing you can test.
Again, though, they do test the individual modules for the space station. They just didn't assemble it all because the different pieces went up at different times. But the individual pieces, which would be more akin to your example of a Boeing airplane, do get tested rigorously, and then they go and they attach them to the larger thing in space, or did. It's at the end of its life cycle now. Pyromancer says, oh, it's the guy that calls things stupid every 5 seconds. It is.
I mean, why would you assemble and test airplanes on Earth when they are designed to spend almost their entire life cycle in the air?
The air is still part of Earth. The atmosphere is part of Earth.
Engineers are a bunch of morons.
Hi, kid.
But FTFE did reveal the ridiculous position of the moon landing swallowers and space zealots everywhere, actually testing and flying an advanced papier-mâché spaceship on Earth in front of cameras and teams of engineers isn't actually necessary because they'll be in space. And as we all know, safety just isn't a problem when you're actually filming it all in a Hollywood basement. Well, that's it for that genius.
Real
Now, this is another issue that still bugs me, because people keep sending this to me as proof of the curvature. This is Soundly's famous Lake Pontchartrain Earth curvature video. He still has it up, and he still proclaims that this is actual footage of the elusive Earth's curvature. Sorry, Soundly, but you're a liar. And all these websites here that make the same ridiculous globe claim are also lying. Shame on all of you. Just like the genius FTFE, the globe liars always make the claim that we flat earthers don't believe in refraction.
I've definitely seen flat earthers use refraction to try and explain away demonstrations that the earth is round, so they definitely think it exists. They usually just apply it incorrectly.
Many hours filming long distances. We flat earthers most certainly believe in refraction. And guess what? This is what refraction looks like. Refraction takes what is visible within your line of sight and it distorts.
He's going to say that the curvature shown by the power lines is just refraction. That's convenient for him, isn't it? Nick says, yes, but how many of them have threatened to teabag their opponents? It's funny, too, because the Lake Pontchartrain power line situation, refraction and how it works changes depending on the environment. So temperature, stuff like that is going to heavily affect the refraction going on. But if you look at pictures of Pontchartrain and the power lines, under any condition, you see the same effect. Because it's not because of refraction, at least not largely so. It is because of the curvature of the Earth. So this is just him trying to deflect from obvious visual proof of the shape of the Earth.
It stretches, it compresses, it mirages, and it obscures your vision. But refraction is certainly not a vision enhancer that enables us to magically see around giant bulges of the Earth. For example, in this video at the Great Salt Lake, I'm looking 21 miles away, and there is no distortion of the distant mountain or of the smelter stack evincing any kind of wrap around the curvature effect going on, which would necessarily cause a cascading effect of distortion.
I have no idea what he's trying to show us, because I don't know what he's actually pointing the camera at. I only see points of light.
I absolutely have a direct line of sight to the other beach. Here's the laser 21 miles away, and its reflection on the water. According to the globe math, I would need to be 223 feet high to see a laser 5 feet off of the water and 21 miles away.
Yeah, I don't know the math on that, so I can't check it for you.
Instead, I was filming at only 5 feet.
Yeah, someone doesn't understand cameras on the bingo card. Yes.
Did the laser and its reflection on the water hop the curvature and did so without distorting everything else behind it? I'm sorry if I don't believe in your refraction fairies. We repeated the same laser test at 19 miles at Bear Lake. Again, the reflection is visible on the water with no visible distortion created by this supposed magical wraparound the curvature event created by the refraction fairies.
How would you be able to even determine that, though? You would just see the laser. So, how are you determining that? Are you walking along or swimming along the entire length of the laser to look for points where it's being contorted in some way? Or you're just assuming?
Giant bulges of earth and water don't just disappear without a trace. It's silly. But let's get back to the Pontchartrain curvature.
Sure.
You can see why they won't let go of this lie, because it's pretty convincing for the ignorant and the unobservant. You know, the target audience of the Globe cult channels.
Lovely.
But here's an older video from Phuket Word, but it's absolutely perfect, as he fully demonstrates to any honest, objective, thinking person that Soundly's imaginary Pontchartrain curvature is nothing but a mirage, deceptively relabeled as Earth curvature. Look at the comparison side by side.
They're not even close to looking like the same thing. What are you talking about?
It's unmistakable. There is no curvature at Pontchartrain.
What? One looks like a street, and one looks like water that eventually starts to go... What am I even supposed to be seeing?
That's an obvious effect of light bending. You know, actual refraction. do these liars know that their curvature claim has been debunked 100% without question? Of course they know. But sadly, they continue to lie. But here's my question.
Did he use? Did you hit enter too soon?
Where are all of the honest Globe supporters getting after these liars like Soundly and Bislin for spreading misinformation? Red's Rhetoric? Simon Dan? Mick West? Wolfie? Mr. Sensible? FTFE? Anybody? Now that's why I don't believe any of these people anymore, because truth is not important to them one iota. Fortunately, a flat earther did go out and filmed Pontchartrain with a P900 and proved the earth is flat. Here's the video.
I like that you can still see it even though it's further away and blurrier. You can still see it going down.
What I really like is the comparison on Bislin's website that shows what the flat Earth and the globe Earth are supposed to look like when modeled out. Do I even need to ask which one represents reality?
I know, they love the P900.
Why hasn't Bislin linked to this very flat Pontchartrain video, even out of intellectual honesty?
Oh, these poor
What's
people.
Even more ridiculous is the fact that these liars claim that this flat Earth footage that you're
Chicken
watching
Sydney, thanks for the bits,
is actually
says,
refraction, magically removing the Earth bulge without a trace and lifting all of the distant transmission lines to appear as though the Earth is flat. Really? To the honest observer, which video is evincing the telltale signs of refraction? This one, where you can see the actual miraging and bending of the light? Or this one, where you can even see the structures on the other side of Pontchartrain displaying a true flat Earth? Seriously? The flat Earth truth is painfully obvious, but I'm pretty sure it will probably escape this genius here. That's it for today. God bless.
Oh, I hate flat earthers.
Why would they assemble and test something on?
I hate flat earthers so much. What else do we have? This is something someone sent me? What's the Twitch TOS on someone else drinking pee on camera? KR Goss with 100 bits says, I co-host an autism stream once a week, and a few weeks back we got a real flat earther in chat. I was so ready. What do you mean muted? I'm not muted. I can see the volume thing on the... if something is built and used to compensate for the curve, that means the curve exists. Let me see. Let me look at the Twitch TOS. Prohibited conduct. Violate any law, obviously. Create, upload, distribute. Inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable. Impersonating person, blah, blah, blah. Send junk mail or spam with the users of Twitch services. Harvest or collect emails. Defame, harass, threaten, defraud users with Twitch services. I'm not looking for specifically, like drinking pee, but like anything involving bodily fluids. Nothing on TOS. It's gross, but not technically against TOS. They ain't effed me over about it yet, and I've shown it 4 times. Okay. You'd think it counts as obscene. That's what I'm wondering, because it's kind of like a gray area, right? It's more of a yellow area. Ha 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 ha. Jokes.
This meeting is being recorded, guys. The line is open now. And make sure I've got backup electrical power for the iPad. I've made the mistake once and ran out of battery power. That is embarrassing when you're doing a Zoom call. So today, my friends, Brother Sage will have the honor of teaching you or showing you several of the accessories. This is going to be awkward here. I will be demonstrating to you several of the accessories and supplies and equipment you'll want to keep on hand when you're doing Shivambu or Orin therapy. Because you want to not only be able to know how they work through personal experience, you want to know what the benefits are. Plus, you will want to know how to teach people how to do the same thing you're doing with these accessories and supplies and equipment.
I'm gonna go up to Jake and be like, hey Jake, do you want to hear about what I'm doing? Oh, sure, what's up? Oh, I've been drinking my own pee-pee for health reasons. You want to get in on some of this?
That you keep around your bathroom or bedroom or house or whatever. But to get started, let's walk over to the Shivambu water closet, shall we? We'll get back to the accessories in just a minute. One of the reasons we're here,
insert Dave Chappelle R.
because
Kelly
of
clip.
Orin. And so let's show people what Orin looks like for those that are new to it. This is my water.
Ah, no! Oh, he's so dehydrated. Probably because he's just drinking the same stuff over and over again. Mike Mack says, have seen the breatharian, the belief of people can live without eating or drinking. Yeah. Those are aged. They've been reduced. Like cooking. You reduce it down, less water content.
Closet. Hold on, there's something.
I can't do this one. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I wish I could be Jeff Holiday and deal with it, but I can't. I can't do it. Killjoy 102 says, I really hope he brushes his teeth. Some of them brush their teeth with the pee-pee, so... Pyromancer says, skip to his tools. I'm just gonna skip it all. I'm skipping it all. We're done with that. Zozo Horror Show says, or me, I cover him a lot, and more often than Jeff. Yeah. Colston says, peeing on your hands when it's cold feels good. You get a 1 second timeout for that. Okay, let's find something else to watch. What was the other thing someone else said? Hold on. Oh, breatharians. Let's look at breatharians.
The art of living without food. The breatharians are those who live on light and energies derived from the sun.
This is not real. You cannot live without food. Period.
But it is no magic trick. The prana yoga, as it is otherwise called, was practiced by many a wise person for centuries in India.
Scam artists.
What is prana? Prana, in its simplest, means life or soul. But in a deeper context,
to find what you're eating is not food. Oh, we've seen the eat to poo poo video. We watched this recently.
Prana means energy.
Killjoy says, I remember when Amazing Randy disproved this, he actually tracked one of these scammers into a McDonald's. Yeah, one of them also did a thing where, like, I don't remember if it was the BBC or someone did an experiment where they put them in a room under constant monitoring for a week to see how their body would react when they're actually being observed and they really can't eat food. And they lost like 10 pounds in a week. And they had to stop early because she was gonna die.
Like those botanical lives living on sunlight, the energy here is derived from the sun. According to yogic sciences, the sun emits 12 different types of pranas, but only those who are physically, mentally, and spiritually evolved can absorb them all. How does prana replace food? The food we eat is broken down into smaller particles of glucose that is converted to energy or prana. Breatharians learn to
Glucose is not prana. Glucose is like sugars and stuff. Oh, bullshit. This lady's gonna be like, I haven't eaten anything in all this year.
Do y'all see these inches, though? Because it's gonna be chatty and long. Let's jump into these questions. A lot of you asked this. Do you still poop? Yes.
Oh, she eats like shakes and stuff? That's an eating disorder.
Probably more fluid than
you need to eat food.
I ever did in my life. Emotions and everything still get stored away in our body, okay? So like, think of things as really like energetically. I have been on water for like 2-3 days and still had bowel movements. So I'm sorry if I touch my hair a lot, just deal with me. There's no effort, it's really, really effortless. And also like if you ever do a fast, like water fast or
no food or water for 20 years.
So hello everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Angel Rajguru and I welcome you all, and which is no food and no water. Yes, you heard it right, it's no food and no water, and I'm excited to know more.
Human beings are so stupid. The fact that literally one of the most fundamental aspects of living is knowing that you need to drink food or eat food and drink water. These are the two things you need to do to survive. Also sleep. And the fact that any human being could listen to another human being try and tell them that they can live without energy and hydration, and anyone for even a second entertaining that as if it's a possibility, makes me want to commit Minecraft. Pyromancer says, it'd be easier to believe someone claiming to be Jesus than believe you don't need food. True.
About him. So let's just ask him directly what exactly this is, and it's a lifestyle, as we have learned up till now. It's a lifestyle, and we are here today to guide you for the same, to enlighten you for the same. So now let us directly head on to Mr. Elitom and know exactly what it is. So yes.
All right, the word breatharian, that's the word we're just using. Now the word breatharian comes from an ancient word for fasting, which is anidia. That's the ancient word for fasting. And that's to eat very little or none at all. That depends on a person's energy level. See, food is energy, that's why you eat it.
Correct. So basically what is this path about? It is about giving up food. What is it exactly?
This is a health message.
This is for health.
The ultimate health message.
Correct.
This is bullshit. I can't believe this is still up on YouTube. I mean, I cover a lot of bullshit, but still, you know? So, fun story. Call for an Uprising has gotten a strike on his channel. Let's take a look as to why.
For an Uprising.
I do not condone anything a Call for an Uprising says in this video. He often will promote medical misinformation. I am playing this for educational purposes to show people how people tend to spread incorrect information on the internet. I've been streaming for so many hours, I'm sorry.
This is a Call for an Uprising. Welcome to today's show.
or soon to be the artist formerly known as A Call for an Uprising.
Do I watch the Frenemies podcast? I've never seen it.
Not that I'm an artist. Because the video I put up today, which was so important and crucial, YouTube apparently found it to be too important for people to see and hear, even though the same video can be found on the 60 Minutes website, or 60 Minutes YouTube channel, excuse me.
Okay, what they took umbrage with is not the fact that you showed a video from 60 Minutes. It's that you surrounded that with conspiracy bullshit about microchips and the mark of the beast and a bunch of anti-vax nonsense. That's the issue, Call.
I uploaded a video that aired last night on national TV about how the Pentagon has developed a chip that is going to be implanted.
And he just puts the same information in this video, which also could get striked, which is so funny.
That's going to, you know, well, it's going to detect the old outbreak in you and do some other things. It's like having, as they say in the video clip,
microchips on the bingo card.
Your own check engine light in your body. Interesting. I didn't say anything about medical information, nothing along those lines, and I received a strike for...
No, I saw that video. You definitely made implications about the health of people and claiming that those things would be used for some sort of nefarious purposes, or associating with the biblical end times mark of the beast bullshit, which is just nonsense.
Medical.
Don't try and play a victim here, Call. You know what you do.
Misinformation, which is a common theme here on YouTube, where the truth will not set you free here. Thankfully, with our Lord...
Breatharians would be ancient wisdom, yes.
Savior Jesus Christ, the truth shall set you free. But here on YouTube, the truth shall get you banned.
Oh my god, look at his videos. His videos get monetized more often than mine do. Jesus Christ.
Or blacklisted, or at least thrown off. So, here's the first thing I want everyone to know. As you can tell, I'm in good spirits. At this point, look at this channel. I started this channel...
Did I get your tip? Hold on. Did I? Oh, what about Bob with $5 says, thank you, let's never go back to that place. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't see the notification.
In February, I believe, maybe it was late January. It was after the new year. But I started it, and I want to make it clear what this channel is, because I'm starting a new channel, and I know some people are excited, because originally this was called A Call for a Rainbow. So if you type in A Call for a Rainbow, you actually can find this channel, whereas if you type in A Call for an Uprising, you might find this channel, but you don't find my other channels, and you will probably find...
You emailed me a new emote? Oh, yippee skippy. Let me see if I can upload that right now. Quick pause. Let's see what the emote is. I won't show you guys. I'll keep it a surprise for whenever it gets uploaded, but I would like to see what it is. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I'll add that to the emotes. Give me one sec. Emotes, emotes. I have 4 open emote slots. This is pretty good. That's a good picture of me, too. Thanks for picking such a nice picture of me. Alright, we'll see how long that takes to get actually added. But it should pop up soon for people who subscribe. Pyromancer says, new emote hype, and Captain Rose says, this guy freaks me out because he sounds too much like James Rolfe, who's my favorite content creator ever, and it feels like my favorite artist turned out to be batshit. It's eerie and I'm high as fuck. James Rolfe is pretty good. Oh, it immediately showed up. There we go. The new emote's already there. Wow, I look really nice in that picture.
About me, exposing me, instead of finding my content, which is what people are usually looking for because they've shadow banned my main channels. But I'm not the only one, and I'm not saying cry me a river.
Thanks for the new emote, Baha.
But the video that I uploaded, I want to make it clear. It is very important, and I hope other channels will talk about it. It is available on my website, and that is why my website, I continue to talk about it, and I won't stop, and I don't care if there's 15 people there, because that's where the information is. There is no censorship. I don't have to worry at this time about it getting taken down. In the future, yeah, when the internet's completely scraped, yeah. But is that in the next year or so? No. With YouTube and the way that they're doing this stuff, it's hard to keep putting up information and videos without them censoring it. I already have to talk around all the stuff going on. So does everybody else, and we're all sick and tired of it. And it's
Then stop lying, Call. Stop lying constantly. Sorry, I forgot I didn't put the camera back on. Stop lying.
It's annoying. So please join the website. Check it out. Subscribe. It's $2.99 a month. If you don't have $2.99, I totally understand. It's the price of something maybe you could just cut back on if your budget is tight.
In fairness, Call's fans not having $3 does add up to what I assume his fan base is like, so that makes sense.
Like a soda or getting something out of a vending machine. But it's really important to be there, and you can share information. And like I said, I found that information out from a subscriber on my website. I wouldn't have known. I didn't happen to run into it yesterday, and I didn't see it in the news this morning. So that's over there. I'm going to be talking about the incidents in Minnesota, right? Boy, they've got that fraternal order, police order on high alert over there, huh? I did a video about that, remember? The fraternal order of police? Oh yeah, it's a Masonic order. Right. Boy, they're really taking their orders and doing their duty, right? They don't care. They'll go on a trial and all this stuff. Boy, the agendas are rolling out. So I'll be talking about that over on the website as well this week, as well as other stuff. So that being said, the strike here, I've appealed it. There's a chance it goes away and the video comes back.
Doubt.
Otherwise, that's the only place you'll be able to see it for the time being. So I want you guys to know that if you didn't get the chance to see it, it is important. Okay, another thing. Now, I have to explain this. I said it before, this channel was originally a call for a rainbow. A lot of people didn't understand why. Well, what I did is I came up with a way to work around the algorithm, and it worked because they're demonetizing channels. When they demonetize channels, it's not just about ad revenue, it's about shadow banning, which means that no new people are going to find your channel because they're going to hide it. So what I did is I created a channel called Call for a Rainbow, and I talked like...
Which was really, really embarrassing. Do you guys remember the Call for a Rainbow videos? I bet he still has them up.
If you've ever...
Let's see. Oh, he certainly does.
Hi everyone, it's me. This is a call for a rainbow, and this is my new YouTube channel. I'm a little nervous. It's my first and win 100,000. You guys see who else is parents and people. That's cool. That's got 4.
And he has like, he does like really, you get it.
This to do many other. And maybe they, because I've heard of people get their channels suppressed.
Yeah. Embarrassing stuff.
This, hi everyone, hi. And I did makeup tutorials, and I sung songs. And
you didn't do makeup tutorials. I don't think you even understand what a makeup tutorial was, because you just showed a before and after picture, which isn't a tutorial.
I talked about all the things that trend on YouTube. And of course, after you have to get 10,000 views, and you have to get 1,000 subs or something like that. Or no, 100,000 hours of viewing, something insane, which it is pretty hard to get to. After doing that, I did about 5 videos, I think, which you could still find on here. If you're creeped out now, you'll know why.
I don't expect
on this
better
channel,
from him at this point, though.
Where I do that to get around the algorithm, and then YouTube approves it, and they usually leave you be. And what I did is I built this channel out, thanks to all of you, to about 90,000. Anytime you get on the cusp of 100, they want to shut you down. They certainly don't want to send me a YouTube plaque because I have huge plans for it. For what I'm going to do with it.
No one cares if you destroy your YouTube plaque. It's fine.
If I can get my hands on one. Of course, if you haven't seen my original video, what I did with my original plaque, which was a lot nicer than the ones they said now, apparently, from what I've seen.
See, I disagree. The YouTube plaques... Hold on. YouTube play button. I have one of the original YouTube play buttons. You can see it in the background there. I think the newer ones look a lot nicer. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. They look like this. They're a little more modern. Unless they changed it again to this. I have no idea. But either way, I kind of like the newer ones. I think they're cool. God, they have 100 million ones now? That's ridiculous. But that's just a personal preference thing. It doesn't really matter. The plaques are cool, but they do not matter.
Well, it didn't. It didn't.
Get my YouTube to 100,000 so I can get one of the newer plaques.
Live long in this world. It wasn't long for this world, and it's resting in pieces somewhere in the woods. So I'm so thankful for you guys that came over to here, and I'm letting you know that I am starting a new channel to look for it tomorrow or the next day, sometime this week, and I will announce it here, but I just want to make sure people understand it is a troll channel. Once the channel is monetized, is approved by YouTube, is a Google partner, because that's the only way. Look, there's no point in doing this if new people aren't going to see it. I'll just do all my stuff on my website.
Just do that. Just do it all on your website. You're not going to get new viewers. You've saturated the market of YouTube crazies. You did it. Now go to your website and post about JQ stuff or whatever garbage you do over there.
The only reason I stick around here is because, you know, there's people who can't go to the website, which I understand, but there's also people out there who are still lost, and they find new videos and they wake up. There's other of you who are deep in your awakening. There's some of you who woke up this year, 5 years ago. I get messages all the time. It's important to constantly wake people up. So, people go, well, why doesn't he just use his channel with 500,000? Because it doesn't reach anyone. I had 500,000 subs on that channel 3 years ago, and it hasn't budged from that number. It's taken me literally 3 years to gain 10,000. I was getting 1,000 a day because they weren't preventing me from getting subs. But once they realized, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna become popular and he's gonna get people's attention and they're gonna wake up, they shut it. That's what they do with most truther channels, especially ones that reach people and wake them up. Because that's what the channel was doing. So
YouTube won't let me spread unfounded conspiracies and medical misinformation. No one cares. Call.
The new channel, should do a drum roll, is going to be called A Call for Glitter. That's right, I love glitter.
Is that already out? Hold on. Call for Glitter. Did he already do it? I don't see it yet. Gonna have to follow that one when he makes it.
Because I'm not going to use A Call for a Rainbow again because, well, I think he was thrown out a window from last I saw.
Yikes.
So I'm going to call it A Call for Glitter. Or a glittering. Maybe a glittering. I don't know. Something like that. I know some people said I should call it A Call for Kittens. We're going to talk about kittens. We're going to talk about unicorns. And we're just going to make fun of the nonsense going on until it gets approved. And then that channel will be my secondary channel until this one gets taken down, because that's what continues to happen here on YouTube. And that is why I emphasize going to the website and subscribing to it. And it's, it's ad-free. You're not going to get bombarded. And there's no
Porcelain Giant, thank you for subscribing with 5 months.
trolls. You don't have to worry about nonsense in the chats or in anything over there. Sure, you might get a disagreement with somebody. We get in disagreements with our parents, husband, wife, brother, sister. Some of you might even get in disagreements with your cats. I don't know. But those types of things happen. But you don't have to deal with satanic trolls or anything like that. So the strike, of course, for those who saw the video, I was literally reading out of the New York Times, showing a clip from 60 Minutes. All stuff that's...
And you were also implying that those chips were somehow satanic. That's the issue, Call.
On here on YouTube from those sources. I didn't even mention the word of the one-niner. I didn't even mention anything about a Jabberoo. Well, I might have just said it, but I didn't tell people what they should do and what they should think. I didn't say I was a doctor to take, I just was cracking up at the fact that and this isn't the first time I've had this problem specifically with microchips. Because I told you guys, I got a strike. So what happens when you upload, it goes through this whole process now. They changed it again, the back end of YouTube. And they actually have to sit and watch your video and approve it first before you can put the video up from ad revenue or monetization.
A person is not sitting and watching your video unless you actually request a review. Then it might get reviewed by an actual person, and I do say might, because even then I don't think they do. They have an automatic algorithm system that takes a look at that stuff.
And if they don't like it, they say it's not suitable for advertisers. They give you a yellow light or some yellow color thing for some nonsense reason. And So sometimes what I do is I upload videos and I unlist them before this thing. Like I would just upload a video unlisted because I let them, they still will review it without it going live. And I will upload.
Uploading things private is usually your best bet. That way it can get reviewed and stuff. Even unlisted, you don't want to do that. You want to upload it as private, and then you can get warnings instead of strikes on things, typically.
Videos of clips that I'm going to use in my videos because, like, you know, from a TV show like South Park, that's exactly what I got the strike for. A 25-second clip, because I have to see if it's going to get a copyright. Because if it gets a copyright, it gets blocked, right? So some copyrights don't, but the majority get blocked, and they get blocked in certain countries and things like that. So you always should test those things out. So I uploaded it, and I was going through the review to see if it was copyright eligible, monetization eligible, and I got a strike for the South Park clip with no commentary from me.
Okay, that's your issue then, Call. You uploaded a 25-second clip with no commentary to try and see if it would get pinged, and it did. That's not fair use. You just uploaded a clip from South Park straight up. That's your issue.
And I had to wait a week to get the strike taken down. Because they thought, I'm like, do you understand this clip from South Park? You have commercials for it on here. South Park has a channel on here.
The issue is not that it's South Park. The issue is that you do not own South Park, and you do not have the right to upload a full clip from South Park with no commentary or fair use on it. That's the issue, Call, you idiot.
With the same clip, I took it from them. I mean, that's how hypocritical and ridiculous this is. This is how bad.
How could he be on YouTube this long and not understand the bare basics of copyright?
They don't want people like me talking because they want to take everyone to hell with them. They want every soul they can get.
No, I would rather call for an uprising, not join me in hell, thanks. I don't want to... I'd really rather not have these conspiracy theorists and chuds in hell with us. Because that's got to be like my retirement, right? This is hard enough as it is. I don't want to be spending my golden years in hell, doing a stream on Twitch in hell, you know, talking about all these hell conspiracy theorists. I'm good.
And people like me are helping lead people to Christ through seeing this horrible crap.
Then it wouldn't be hell. I guess that's true.
It makes people pick up their Bible. And I tell people all the time, you don't need to see this stuff every day if it bothers you. You need to be in the Word. But if you're somebody who, you know, you can handle this stuff and you like to see it because you want to know the enemy and you want to know what's going on, that's great. But people who are not even Christian yet, they see this stuff and it makes them pick up the Bible. And if they go, hey, Call, I woke up because of you and, you know, now I found God. I don't want to listen to this bad stuff anymore. I say, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You know, I don't go, hey, stick around. You'll learn some more. Because that's all I want out of this. So that's what they don't want. So the chip is something that they are so scared of. So that video is now available on my website exclusively, unless they take the strike down here. I wrote an appeal, and I told them, you got to be kidding me. But they don't even read the appeals. So let's be real. They might, I don't know. If you guys want to message them on Twitter or anything like that and tell them to, you know, unblock my video, that it's not medical misinfo, maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Stephen J. Neptune Man says, you want hell? Imagine a 15-hour airplane ride sitting between Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro. Ooh.
I don't want to waste your time because I don't like...
Someone's been reading my nightmare journal.
Having my time wasted, but that's what YouTube usually does to people anyway. So again, check out the website for that video. I want to thank everybody who's here. And again, keep an eye out for my newest secondary channel, which is going to be called A Call for Glittering. Or Glitter. Or maybe Kittens. I'll read the comments and I'll see which one. Maybe somebody will have something funnier. But all right, I'm in good spirits. Don't worry about it. Strikes are strikes. But this channel's not going anywhere. So those of you who strike it down, do I sound defeated? I got a smile.
A little bit. You kind of sound weathered, yeah.
The ear. I like it. Come, keep coming. I've had 2 channels permanently deleted that had it close to 100,000. I have 3 other ones all demonetized. And I have this one, and I'll keep making them because people want to hear this content, and they're going to come to the new channel. So what you going to do, brother?
I hear a sound of reckoning, and strike, and strike, and strike, and strike. Good reference.
As the Hulkster used to say, what you going to do? Because I ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I thank you guys again for being here. God bless all of you.
Oh, Call, what are you doing?
If you've ever had this...
No link to a new channel yet. It's a shame. Hopefully by next week he'll have his new embarrassing channel out and we can take a look at it. Pyromancer says send him a celebratory glitter bomb in honor of his new channel. Joking, glitter is the worst thing. Yeah, no. I would never send him anything. Ever. Nor should anyone else. What am I gonna watch now? So we've looked at Bob Larson, self-described exorcist, sometimes on this channel. I'm pretty excited for this one because the title of this video sounds like it could come straight out of a certain website whose color scheme is orange and black, and that is, a crafty sex demon tries to hide from the real exorcist. So let's watch it. Flashing light warning with all of this. Okay? Cool. Patty's mother. Oh. Patty's mother was molested. Patty was repeatedly molested starting at the age of 1. Gross. As an adult, she turned to drugs and prostitution. Her ancestors were Freemasons and worshipped the demon Moloch. Watch the surprise ending when Bob battles and defeats a previously hidden demon. Yikes. The implication and connection between people being victimized via sexual assault and demons is gross. Overthought says, me and Bob do the same amount of exercising and I'm a doughy mother effer. Pyromancer with a link of some kind. Yeah. Is this the second round of Thor Ragnarok?
What's your name? Patty?
Yeah, Patty.
You know that you've been mocking and laughing at me?
I know that whatever it is, that's...
It's not you.
Yeah.
We understand, Patty, it's not you. You sit here shaking all over.
Be free.
I know you do. You're a Christian?
Yes.
Oh, well, I better find somebody else, because Christians can't have demons. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Married or single?
I'm single.
Single. Been married?
No.
Jezebel doesn't want you married. Jezebel wants you for herself. When people are molested, it's almost always a guarantee that the spirit of Jezebel is there. I don't know how far back that curse goes.
This is Brie Larson's crazy uncle.
But I'm going to take the sword of the spirit and make sure that Satan knows he's going to tell me. How many generations, Jezebel? The truth, Jezebel. 4. Mother's side or father's side?
It's impressive. Other people have also been Jezebel. So Jezebel has been in this lady and her family for 4 generations and was also in a different lady for also generations. So how is Jezebel in multiple people at once? How does that work?
4 on the mother.
And the father? How many generations of the father? You answer me. 14!
14!
Hatred and anger and rage.
Who was the form worshipped? 14
Do I think
generations
Bob knows Jezebel has a website? I'm not clicking on that.
ago. Answer me! Infanticide. Moloch and Baal. With the threefold cord, I bind Baal, Moloch, all the others of hate, rage, and anger to you, Jezebel. Now go down. I want Patty. Come back, Patty.
You inherit Jezebel like an old set of plates.
He's going to set you free. Now, stop what you're doing right now.
It's a
One of the
nudist
things
site.
I teach in my book, Demon Proofing Prayers, I have a chapter called Don't Be Whiners. Now, I'm not putting you down. But so often people, oh, Jesus set me free. No! You don't have to beg and plead for Jesus to set you free. He already set you free at the cross. You enforce what he did at the cross, and you say, in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
No, that's not how I said it. Say, in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
I have a right to be free.
I have a right to be free.
I belong to Christ.
I belong to Christ.
These demons have to leave me.
And these demons have to leave me.
And those curses.
And those curses.
On my mother's side.
On my mother's side.
My father's side.
And on my father's side.
I break those curses.
I break those curses.
Look at me.
Amen.
Yes. Can I help you?
That's the demon voice. Okay, cool. Bardlock Moses, thank you for gifting a sub.
Typical Jezebel. Smart aleck. Down to the end. Say, I, Jezebel.
I, Jezebel.
Bind myself.
Bind myself.
To all my kingdom.
To all my kingdom.
All the spirits I've named.
All the spirits I named.
Together.
Together.
We lift the curse.
No.
Who doesn't agree? Lucifer.
Is this okay? What do you,
Yeah?
You right! It's the Freemasonry.
Mike Mack says, sometimes I feel ashamed to be a part of the same religion with these people. Yeah, I get that.
Lucifer had to be there.
That's assault, brother!
But you're going to say, I, Lucifer. Say it!
I, Lucifer.
Am bound! And bound by all that Jezebel says.
By all that Jezebel says.
She speaks for me.
She speaks for me.
And my kingdom.
And my kingdom.
And I too lift the curses.
And I too lift the curse.
From this woman.
From this woman.
And future generations.
And future generations.
Lift him, Lucifer. Now get back up, Jezebel. Lord, loose the dogs of Jezreel and come down. The dogs of Jezreel to start eating Jezebel's flesh. Licking Jezebel's blood. Loose the dogs of Jezreel. Loose them, Lord. Say, I, Jezebel. I, Jezebel.
I, Jezebel.
Speaking for Lucifer.
Speaking for Lucifer.
And all of our kind.
And all of our kind.
Receive the judgment. The judgment of Almighty God.
Receive the judgment of Almighty God.
For what we did.
For what we did.
To this woman and all of her ancestors.
The foot stomp was an interesting character choice.
To this woman and all of her ancestors. Say it.
To this woman.
Jubinator, thanks for subscribing with Prime for 7 months. I watched a video of Jake on Crowder's kneeling neck BS, then went on to watch the George Floyd trial. Now I can't shake the resemblance between Crowder and the defense attorney Nelson. Ooh. Sky Comet Fallen with 50 bits says, my grandpa was a real Freemason. I met several of his fellow Masons too, eccentric men, but definitely not satanic. Yeah, no. We're close to a hype train.
Ancestors.
The judgment comes on you now, Jezebel, 7 times greater. Feel the torment, Jezebel.
A Pyromancer with 100 bits says, bring on the hype train. We did it. We're on the hype train.
With Lucifer.
Look at me, Jezebel. Haughty to the end.
Well, you know. Forgot who? Incubus.
What did she say? I missed it.
Forgot who? Incubus.
Incubus? An incubus is a male demon that will have sex with you. Is basically the male version of a succubus. Broadlock Moses says choo choo, and Querulous Artisan says I did better acting in high school drama class. Vast Lunacy, thank you for gifting 10 subs to the community. Much appreciated. Cool Sage says, oops, let me try that again. My grandpa was also a Mason, and the impression I got was, it's an excuse to go get drunk with your buddies in a fancy building. That sounds about right. Pyromancer says, she is the band Incubus. She's being possessed by Incubus, yes. Mitchell Drummer says, where can I find an Incubus asking for a friend?
Your pride is your undoing. Get up, Incubus. Get up, Incubus.
I'm a demon.
Say I, Incubus. Say it!
I, Incubus.
Am bound. By the words of Jezebel.
By the words of Jezebel.
To receive the same judgment.
To receive the same judgment.
And I now speak.
And I now speak.
For Jezebel.
For Jezebel.
For Lucifer.
For Lucifer.
And all of this kingdom.
And all of his kingdom.
We all go now.
We all go now.
Look at me. To the pit. Come on!
Felix Night Owl says, I hope she breaks into song like a musical.
Out! Go! Go!
This ASMR sucks. I know, I'm sorry. This is hard to watch, it's embarrassing. How dare you? This is very serious. Can't you tell? Does this not look like a group of very serious people? You do not have a man with this hairdo and a guy next to him in a jean jacket if you're not super serial, okay? Mike Mack says, speaking on the Masons, I found out their lounge in Harlem and one in downtown New York. Nice. Killjoy says, I'm reading a blog about skeptics going to one of these and sitting next to a kid who's 3. Ooh. Pyromancer says, don't shame their LARP. I'll shame whatever LARP I want.
I know it's in the name of the Father, the Son,
Oh, she's got that post-exorcism hair. You know how it be.
and the Holy Spirit. Okay, now just thank the Lord. Thank you for what he's done.
I just felt like the Lord wanted me to come here. I really believe the Lord set me free from a spirit of Jezebel. I did happen to graduate from Heartland School of Ministry.
So it's possible for somebody to go to Bible school and still
be-
have demons.
Yes, I
Boy,
believe that
I would
Christian-
almost bet that people who go to Bible school have a much higher likelihood of having demons because they're predisposed to magical thinking and believing demons exist.
can have demons. Well, I've seen it, not just in my life, but in other people's lives.
Oh, look at this ad. Nice PNGs. That XY girl says, Hannah, I declare an internet exorcism to exorcise the gay tinfoil demon in you. You know what? No, I like the gay tinfoil demon. They keep me company.
A lot has been lifted, and that's all thanks to God and to Bob. Anybody who needs help, just reach out, we'll help you.
I have to give all the credit, and number one to God, but to the Bob Larson's ministry, because it was what I learned that I was able to apply to these terrible situations I found myself in and get deliverance.
If your life isn't all that it should be, if relationships aren't working,
we can't
if your
exercise
health, your finances,
Evelina.
or your spiritual life are unhappy, schedule a personal
Bob Law. Bob Law. Oh, God. What was the joke from Arrested Development?
Hi, I'm Bob.
Bob Law. Blah, blah, blah. It sounds like blah, 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 blah. Bob Law, blah, law. Bob Law, law, blah. Bob Law, law, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Bob, blah, blah. Bob Law's Lobs Law Bomb on a Law blog. Bob Lawblaw's Law Blog. Bob Lawblaw. Bob Lawblaw. There we go. 30 seconds left in the hype train. I assume it's going to be done here in a second. Then we can probably raid someone. Cutting it like 20 minutes shorter than usual today. But I did a big stream with Jake earlier, so I'm a little tired. Nice. Thanks for the hype train, everyone. I appreciate it. Who can we raid? Mitch Drummer says, please consider rating Squid. They're very close to their goal for the roof fundraiser. Bardlock Moses says, D&D this week. Yes, well, there will be D&D this week. Steve with a Q says, raid Antipodian Squid so we can help them fix the roof. Yeah. Can do. I don't know what's the fundraiser at right now.
That's fair.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming to the stream. I'll be back tomorrow for
totally
something else, maybe a whatever Wednesday.
no
If you
obligation for
can,
you to actually
help
play
Squid out with their roof issue.
buy
That'd
me.
be great. Hope you enjoy the Spyro stream. Chat is valid, as always. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Oof. All right. Adios, everyone. See you later.
Yeah, that's fair.